Let's have the next question. The mean of stationary process whose autocorrelation function is this. So here only the mean is required. Okay. So as we have done earlier, let's find out the mean. So what is the formula for mean? So mean is nothing but mu x, right? And we have the formula that mu x square is nothing but limit as tau tends to infinity of rxx of tau, where what is this rxx of tau? This is autocorrelation function corresponding to the stationary process x of t. Okay, now here this expression is given autocorrelation function, so we'll substitute over here. So what we get, the mu x square is equal to limit as tau tends to infinity of rxx of tau, that is 18 plus 2 by 6 plus tau square. Then let's apply the limit tau tends to infinity. So if I'll put tau tends to infinity here, so this is infinity and this infinity is in the denominator. Okay, so anything divided by infinity is 0. So what we have? We have this complete term as 0. So what is mu x square? The mu x square is 18. So this is not the required quantity. We want mean, but here it is a square of the mean. Okay, so that's why we will just take the square root of this, we will get the mean. So therefore what is mean? Mean is nothing but under root of 18. So here various options are given, out of which sometimes students get confused. Rather than taking option C, they take A. So remember, that is the value of what? Mu x square, which is not the mean, it is a square of the mean. Okay, so this one has to remember. So such type of question may be asked where the autocorrelation function will be given and you will be asked to find out the mean and variance. In the previous lecture, we have discussed how to find out the variance. Okay, so let's have the next question. So next question is, which of the following process is not stationary? Which of the random process is not stationary? So first of all, you should know what is mean by stationary, right? Stationary random process. So stationary random process means the process, so random process is said to be stationary, is said to be stationary if the statistical parameters. So what are the statistical parameters? That is mean, variance, moments remains constant. Remains constant, that is independent of time. It does not depends on time. So remember, in case of this random process, we have a output as a function of time t. Okay, so even if we will find out the statistical parameters, sometimes we may have them as a function of time. Okay, so in case of random process, the output, that is mean, variance, moment, may be a function of time. Whereas when we have a random variables, then these quantities are always constant, right? This difference you should understand. In random variable, all these quantities always remains constant. Whereas under random process, these quantities may be a function of time. So if you will get these quantities independent of time, that is completely constant, then the random process is said to be stationary. It is also called triple S. Triple S means strict sense stationary, right? Rather than using the word stationary only, it is also one may use this word also, strict sense stationary. Okay, so here different processes are mentioned in different choices, 4 options, and you have to just identify which of the following is not stationary, right? So you have to find out the one of the parameters, say mean or variance or moments, and you will have to just check whether that comes out to be constant or not. Okay, so as we have seen earlier in the example, right, in the earlier lectures that this when x of t is defined as a cos of omega t plus theta, where theta is uniformly distributed random variable in the interval 0 to 2 pi, then this always comes out to be stationary. So let me explain one of the example, and then we will see, we will do it in the same manner the other options, and we will have the correct option which is not a stationary process. So as we have already discussed about the option number A, that this is already a stationary process. Okay, so we will not go for this A. Let's have this next option. What is option? X of t is equal to at plus theta, where theta is uniformly distributed random variable in the interval -1 to 1 and a is equal to 0. So let us take this one. Okay, so what we have, theta is a uniformly distributed random variable. Now what do we mean by theta is uniformly distributed? Theta is uniformly distributed means it is a random variable which follows the uniform distribution. So as theta is uniformly distributed random variable, so therefore its probability function would be f of theta is equal to, what is the formula? We just have to go for a and b. So a is lowest, this lower limit, and b is upper limit of this interval. So what we have, 1 upon 1 minus of -1, so that is 1 plus 1, right? Over the limit -1 and theta less than or equal to 1, and this is 0 otherwise. So what I'm having, that is I'm just having f of theta is equal to 1 by 2 when theta varies from -1 to 1 and 0 otherwise. Okay, now let's find out the expectation of the random process. So x of e of x of t, apply the definition of expectation. So the variable is continuous. So what we have the integral sign. It is integration from -infinity to infinity of x of t. Expectation of x of t is required. So x of t. Now remember here, I am writing the expectation of a random this random process where we need a probability function of the random variable. So what is the probability function of random variable? That is nothing but f of theta. Okay, integration with respect to theta. This one should understand. Okay, now let's put f of theta as well as x of t. Now look at here, x of t, how it is defined? It is given as at plus theta, where a is 0. So if I'll put a is 0, it's simply theta, right? So what we have? So it's nothing but integration from -infinity to infinity. On putting a as 0, we get this simply as theta into f of theta d theta. Now let's substitute f of theta. So f of theta is half only from -1 to 1, right? So we will put this, so -1 to 1 theta as it is, and f of theta is half d theta. Now simplify, integrate. So half integration of theta is theta square by 2 over the limit -1 to 1. And on applying the limit, that is theta is 1, this will come out to be 1, and for lower limit also -1 square is 1. So what I am getting, 0. So as expectation of x of t comes out to be 0, which is a constant term, right? Not a function of 0, constant, not a function of time. Right, here you are not observing any term of time, right? So therefore what should be the random process? So random process must be what? Stationary, right? As it is independent of time. So x of t is a stationary process. Likewise you will identify the remaining two also, and on going through this, what we find, that option D, here we get e of x of t as a function of time. Okay, so that's why option D is not a stationary random process. So in this way one can verify the given process as a not stationary random process. Now let's have the next question. What is given here, that if x of t is a periodic random process with period pi, then its autocorrelation function has a period. Okay, so we have seen while discussing the autocorrelation function various properties of autocorrelation function, such as autocorrelation function, which is nothing but denoted by Rxx of tau. So it's a even function, means what we get Rxx of tau is same as Rxx of minus tau. In that we have one more property. What is that property? That if suppose a random process is periodic, which is x of t, with some period, say in general n pi, okay, then its autocorrelation function also comes out to be a periodic function. And what will be its period? Its period is same as that of the random process. So here the period of random process is given as pi. So as per that property, what we have, the period of this autocorrelation function is also pi. Okay, so just by making use of property, you will get the answer for this question, right? So this is option number B. So many times MCQ questions are based on the formulas, then the properties and the basic concepts, right? So here one should remember all the properties of autocorrelation function. Then we have seen spectral density functions properties, then cross correlation functions, right? So all are requested to remember all those properties carefully. Okay, now let's have the next question. Which of the following is not true? So just now as I said that uh, one should remember the properties. So this is the question based on the properties. So what it says, that this is a even nature of autocorrelation function. That is, when I replace tau by minus tau, I will get the same function. So this is the even nature of autocorrelation function. Again, what it says, that the absolute value of autocorrelation function is always less than or equal to its value at origin. Okay, so this is also true. Then what we have here, so this is the property of cross correlation function. Cross correlation in the sense that it is not for the same variable. Here we have two different random process, x and y. Okay, so this is the property of cross correlation function. And just like the autocorrelation function, cross correlation function is also even. If it means when I replace tau by minus tau, I will get the same original function, right? So this is the even nature of the cross correlation function. So obviously all these three are correct. So this is wrong, right? So this is not true for a cross correlation function. So option D is the false statement, and as per the requirement, this is the correct answer for this question. Let's have the next question. What is the next question? Next question talks about the power spectral density function, right? Power spectral density function, and we know that power spectral density function is denoted by Sx x of omega, or it is simply denoted by Sx of omega or S of omega, right? So these are different notations. So what it is asked, that power spectral density function of a stationary random process is. So various choices are given: Fourier transform of autocorrelation function, or Fourier transform of cross correlation function, or Laplace transform of autocorrelation function, or it is a Z transform of autocorrelation function. So we have seen that as per definition, what is power spectral density function of stationary random process? So it's nothing but the power Fourier transform of autocorrelation function. It means if I would write this in the symbolic notation, right? So what we have, Sx of omega is nothing but equal to integral from minus infinity to infinity of r xx of tau, which is an autocorrelation function, and its Fourier transform is required. So that's why we write integral minus infinity to infinity. Fourier transform of this function is required. So that function must be written here. And we have the operator of Fourier transform, that is e raised to power minus I omega tau beta, right? So in this way, we get the power spectral density function as a Fourier transform of a autocorrelation function, right? So this is as per our definition. So option A is the correct one. Let's have the next question. Now what it is asked here, that power spectral density function of a wide sense stationary process. So this wide sense is also abbreviated as WSS, right? So is always complex, always real, always non-negative, always non-zero. So remember that power spectral density function of wide sense stationary process is always non-negative, right? It has to be always non-negative. Again, the answer here is obtained according to the property of power spectral density function. Okay, it is real and it's always non-negative nature is very much important. Let's have the next question. Am I audible to you? Yes, Vita?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible? Okay. ठीक है. Okay, now let's have the next question. What is the next question? Again, it is based on the definition. What it is asked? It is asked the average power Pxx of a random process x of t. Right? So we have seen that average power Pxx of random process is given by limit as t tends to infinity of 1 by 2t. This is very important. Sometimes student get confused that it is t or 2t. So it's remember 2t. How to verify this? Just add the limit, right? Take the difference of the limit. So limits are integral from minus t to t. So if you take the difference of this, so t minus of minus t, how much you will get? You will get 2t. So that factor must be here, right? So limit as t tends to infinity 1 by 2t integration from minus t to t of expectation of x square of t dt. Again here sometimes we may have a confusion when you will find another option just like this, where rather than expectation of x square of t, if you find such terms, right? So remember both these are completely different, right? Expectation of square of expectation of x and uh, expectation of x square, both are different, right? So sometimes if you will find such options, you may have a sort of confusion. So remember it's expectation of x square of t. Okay, so this is as per the formula, because still many times when we study, when we prepare, right, we feel it's very easy, but you find the option like this where you have a sort of confusion, right? Then this is the trick to remember the formula. Okay, so as I told you, this is nothing but 2t is the limit difference between the limits, and here we have expectation of x square of t. Okay, not the square of expectation of t. So option A is correct as per the definition. Okay, as per the definition of the average power of a random process. Let's have the next question. So next question is, random process x of t is stationary if e of x of t is. So various options are given: constant, function of time, depends on time, and expectation of x1 equal to x of t2 is equal to r x of t1 minus t2, and none of this, right? So just now we have seen the problem where we have to check the given function as a stationary process, right, which is also called as the strict sense stationary, right? So what is the condition required over there? That the statistical parameters, that is mean, variance and moments, etc., right, all statistical parameter which we have evaluated in the earlier unit should remain constant is the condition required. Okay, so here they have considered one statistical parameter. What this denotes? E of x of t. So this is nothing but mean. Okay, so mean is given. So random process is said to be stationary if this is what? This is that the statistical parameters are constant, that is completely independent of time. It does not depends on time, right? So this is constant if it is a constant. Constant means it is not a function of time, so completely independent of time. Okay, so option A is the correct one. So this is again I'm having as per definition, right? So here some maybe another question may be said where rather than writing e of x of t, they may write say variance of x of t, right? Or they will write the moments of x of t. right? So that is also possible because all those are statistical parameters, right? So for a stationary process, it's not necessary that only mean should be constant, right? You may have the possibility that mean is constant or variance was expectation variance constant or the moments are constant, like this, right? So option A is the correct one. Now let's have the next question. What is the next question? That random process x of t is said to be wide sense stationary. In short, it is written as WSS. If what? So this is the nothing but advanced case of the stationary process, or strict sense stationary process. Advanced in the sense that here, apart from having the uh, expectation as constant, we have one more quantity. So what is that condition required? So any random process is said to be wide sense stationary, right? If what we have, so the first condition required is that the expectation of x of t, or the what we can say statistical quantities, are constant. So in particular here, for wide sense stationary, they will take the expectation of x of t as constant mu, which is constant independent of time. Okay, so that we find in option number A. And in addition to this, we have one more condition. What is the another condition? That it is expectation of the random process defined at two different time, say x at t1 and x at t2, right? So this is always equal to the autocorrelation function defined at t1 t2, and this is always a function of difference of the time, which we denote by t1 minus t2 or t2 minus t1, right? So this has to be always a function of t1 minus t2. So that is given in option number B. So both, when both these are satisfied, okay, then it is said to be a wide sense stationary. So according to the requirement, both has to be satisfied. So that is given in option number C, right? So that's why option C is the correct option. So I hope these set of questions